This episode of Co-op is brought to you by GoDaddy, Halo 3 ODST for Xbox 360, prepare to drop, and Squarespace.
I'll be your lightning gun, alternate fire. I'll be your player to 1080p. I'll be that memory card that you back up on. What if life was more like a video game?
Looking good. Is that up? Done?
Pens check.
And 2 check.
We have matches.
Did anyone find a power outlet anywhere?
I looked. No. I thought there was going to be one in that tree.
I don't think that's how you start a fire.
Shut up, you're not how you start a fire.
Alright, wait.
I mean,
Shouldn't we do something though? I don't think we should just throw matches into a fire pit. Let's go hiking or something.
I don't know, man. It's pretty hot out. I like to get all sweaty and stuff.
that sounds like a boring thing to do.
I'm starting to miss my 360.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got a shitload of portable games!
The thing I like about you most is you'd run away with me. So pack your bags and your shotgun too. We might run into zombies. We're always down for that co-op multiplayer action. We're always down. We're so down. We're so down. We're so down for co-op. We're so down for that co-op action.
Do you love it that you're fighting Ken in a Soul Calibur game?
I actually kind of hate it.
I mean, Ken wouldn't really have a sword, but you know.
Looks just like him. Yeah, I'm not into the fact that I can get beat by Ken in Soul Calibur and Street Fighter now. Well, there it is. Ken wins. It's like playing Street Fighter Online all over again. I will say, one of the things that I really wanted was Soul Calibur for PSP, because I got it in my head a long time ago that the best thing in the world would be if I could go to a movie and instead of watching the shitty previews, I could be playing Soul Calibur with my friend wirelessly. And now that's a reality. We've got it, it works, and it's like, it's taken a long time, but God, it's freaking awesome. I mean, hell, we're playing versus Soul Calibur in the middle of the freaking woods.
One of my favorite things about Soul Calibur 4 was the character creation. It's even better on the PSP.
It's just the little things, like, you know, after you finish creating your character, you can kind of pose them in a very specific way, and then take a photo, which is going to be the photo that shows up on character select when you select them.
It seems like there's a lot more there in the beginning. Like, there's a ton of stuff you want to unlock. You know, one of my characters, MC Hammer, he's got the pants, but I'm hoping I can unlock some glasses that kind of look Hammer-ish.
You do unlock some silly stuff.
There's more!
What I really like about this game is that it's kind of modern, you know? Like, it doesn't even have arcade mode, which is cool. Like, there aren't even arcades we can go to anymore and play. Like, let's drop the name of the mode. That's just not necessary. So it was really nice when, you know, you turn this game on and the first option is quick match. And basically what you do is you select a character, and then you have a list of like 10 different matches. They're basically virtual people, virtual opponents. They have funny names, and they use the character creation tool as well. You know, there are a bunch of characters that are already created. And so it's actually kind of difficult to hop into a match and know right away what you're up against. Like, they can still choose like Sophicia or something like that, but you're just as likely to run into a character named Tom Tom,
Right.
and you have no idea what he does unless you look at his weapons.
Weapons is, yeah, that pretty much gives it away. Compared to like Soul Calibur 4 when you play like the story mode or whatever, you have that feeling that it feels like you're going up against a bot. But in Quick Match, it feels like you're playing an actual player. In some way, it's a bot, but like the way the patterns are of how they attack you and how they play, don't feel as bot-like as they did before.
I 100% agree. I mean, I'm always amazed by, you know, the AI spamming some move over and over. Like this, you know, one AI, like I'll fight, will run up to me and throw right away, and then try to throw me
Right.
again. And I'm like, what? That's like totally something you know, some new player would do. And then like right after that, I'll just get destroyed by someone who knows like all the combos. And that's what feels really real, because that's how players play, at least in my experience. I mean, I don't play at a tournament level, obviously. I play with my friends. Back in the day on straight up arcade modes, and maybe not in Soul Calibur 4, but definitely in Soul Calibur 3, you know, I'd play against the arcade combatants and just get myself into bad habits, because things that would work against them, like, don't work against real human players.
Right.
I do like some of the other modes too. I mean, the story mode now is more like a training mode. It's called the Gauntlet.
Go! Excellent!
I think it's probably really useful for high-level players, and maybe even low-level players. It basically teaches you to do very simple maneuvers, but in a super quick fashion. You'll hop into a thing and it'll be like, duck this move and then do a horizontal attack
Right.
afterwards. And you have 3 chances to do it, and if you miss one, then you don't go on.
Right.
And I'm sure as you go forward in it, it gets more complex. To be honest, I found it kind of trying to push my way through it, partially because this is where the story is thrown into this game, you know? And I don't necessarily think there needs to be any story in this mode. I feel like it should have been part of the training mode. But there's also the standard training mode as well. And Soul Calibur, I don't know why, but they need to get on the ball and really clean up the training mode, because it's not as good as some of the other modern games.
Yeah, I want like
Virtua
how they,
Fighter's better.
like Street Fighter does it really good too.
Yeah.
I would rather them do something like that.
The Soul Caliburs is the worst. I mean, you have to pause the game, go into the move list. You can read the move list there. There's no way to demo a move, and there's no way to get the moves to appear on screen when you're actually playing. So you basically have to go into the move list, remember what you saw there, and then go out and try it. It's just not that convenient. The Gauntlet seems like it's a step in the right direction, but just playing matches in Quick Match was better training for me than going through the Gauntlet. But I kind of wish that Gauntlet and training were kind of combined and made better, because then it could be a really good training mode.
They find themselves in a battle orchestrated by the whims of fate. It's too late to cower in fear.
Go now, and I will let you live!
Battle 1. Fight!
I'm not usually into guest characters, but Kratos is probably the coolest guest character maybe ever in a fighting game
It definitely, I think, fits much more than the Star Wars characters.
Oh,
I mean,
1000%.
Like Kratos feels like he's from an actual time period from, you know, Soul Calibur.
And his weapons are totally unique.
Yeah.
And when I'm fighting against someone who's, whatever, an AI opponent that's good at playing Kratos, it is obnoxious. I'll tell you what, he's got range. He has like, I'm trying to think of what it is in God of War, but it's like whatever, square, triangle attack, which is like this basic thing that you do always in God of War. He's got a version of that, but then there's another version, except for he throws his chains into you and they stick instead, and then he can like do a pull move after it, and it's like totally brutal. That combined with the Pegasus wings flying around through the air bit, he seems like almost like Algol when we first started playing 4, where, you know, it was like, this guy's a kind of cool character. He seems like he should be too strong. Like, if you know what you're doing, he might be too strong.
Yeah.
Now die!
And then there's Dampierre, who looks a little funny. He's got a silly mustache and weird hat.
I feel like he kind of fits in the world too.
He reminds me of Shun-Di from Virtua Fighter, but also a little bit of Voldo too. He has lots of kind of flowy, well animated moves, like almost like feels like a dancer somewhat.
One thing, like, I mean, with, you know, Soul Calibur 4, they're able to like patch and fix problems that they had, but that's one thing. I mean, you know, having it on the PSP, do you think there'll be like any updates for it? Like,
I doubt
anything like that.
I don't think so, but I feel like this almost is the update. You know what I mean? Like this feels like I haven't played enough with other people to really know, you know, all the little changes that they've made. But my guess is that this is the cleaned up version, and that after you get used to playing this for a while, if you went to go back and play 4, you might be like, I kind of wish I was playing Broken Destiny. I wish Broken Destiny was available for the home consoles as well, so that I could, you know, play with a joystick and play on a big screen.
Well, that's the other thing. It doesn't.
This might be the best version of, you know, of modern Soul Calibur, and this is the only way you can experience it for the time being.
I mean, that's the only thing for me is like I like to go out online and I like to, you know, play against just like random people.
Yeah. And the most important part is that when you are sitting next to your friend like we are now, we can play multiplayer.
In the middle of the woods?
In the middle of the woods, or in a movie theater, or waiting in line, or wherever. I just have to make sure that I bring my PSP with me, and anytime you and I are going to be together, I want to make sure that we have our PSPs with us now so that we can, you know, hop in and get a game going if the time is right. But if people aren't carrying their PSPs with them,
right,
you know, then it's not going to happen. So I'm really glad this game finally got made, because I've been waiting for it for so goddamn long. It took several years, but we finally got it. I mean, it's basically exactly what I wanted. And like I said, I feel like the modes are more modern now than they are in the console versions. It's almost like the only thing it's missing is online, but everything else is like right where I want it to be.
And it's got the character creation, and that's like one of my favorite things is to get creative and think of like funny characters that I could, you know, piece together.
I don't want to fight your funny characters anymore. All right, maybe I'll fight MC Hammer one time, but then after that I'm done.
I got Wonder Woman too.
Can't you play some real characters?
Final battle. Fight! Nice stream!
Now, can you? You stop for it now! Forgive me now!
You win!
GoDaddy.com makes it easy to customize your own virtual dedicated server. Choose one of 3 popular plans or select your own Linux or Windows server with all the plan options you need. Plus, enter code CO4 when you check out and save an additional 15% on any order of $75 or more. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.
Yeah? Good? All right.
Dude, come get a shot of this. This is like, here we are, it's the end of the night, right? But look at this. I mean, I guess what we take for granted is the fact that this is all right in front of us. This is like 30 minutes away from San Francisco. Matt made fire. We have our campsite set up. So I think the night is headed in the right direction. Or at least Mr. Johnny Walker says it is.
We got some blowtorch nachos going on here.
Yeah. Hey Rob, that plate is paper.
It's a paper plate.
You think it's the best idea, paper plate? I'm just saying, it's a paper plate.
Dude, that's actually melting.
I'm gonna do an old Boy Scout, an old Troop 850 Boy Scout tradition and make some quesadillas out in the middle of fuck all.
My dad said he's looking forward to the show, so put on a good show. Say hi, Storm and Norman.
Hi, Storm and Norman.
Yeah, we're playing some Soul Calibur Broken Destiny. I'm M. Bison.
You're M. Bison?
Yeah, I made that character there.
Nice.
Ryan's a custom character too, right?
Yeah, he's his own character there.
So this is what gamers do in the woods, right? They just bring it with them?
When you can, yes.
We are cooking brats. The thing is, we have the proper cooking for it apparatus, but as far as utensils and tools that we're using to cook the food, grab the food, move the food, we're using sticks. Sticks are free, and we're on a budget. So, I'm cooking hot dogs with a stick.
Give him the stick! Don't give him the stick! Woohoo! Luigi! Yeah!
So I was enjoying on our little camping excursion Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, which is my first Mario and Luigi game that I've ever played. I did play Super Mario RPG on the SNES and I loved it. I thought it was great.
Game.
But I kind of lost interest in the whole series and kind of RPGs in general as I got older. And
yeah,
so
for me,
it's been a while.
Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games, I've like had a falling off. I don't know what it is. I know they're well written and they're funny, but I haven't played the last few.
Yeah, I was really skeptical going into it. I actually didn't think I was going to like it very much, but I just sort of out of curiosity wanted to check it out. And I'm 15 hours almost into it now. And
You are committed, sir.
I am. I'm like really, really enjoying the game. And you know, I was trying to think of why. And you know what I thought of is the comment you had made in our Dreamcast episode where we were talking about games like Skies of Arcadia and Jet Grind Radio and Crazy Taxi and those games that were very happy, very vibrant, very bright, and just sort of going against the norm. We talked about one of the most refreshing things about Skies of Arcadia was that it's a standard RPG, but it takes sort of a different tone.
Right.
And that's something that that Mario and Luigi does great right from the start. The only problem is it takes a long time to get started.
That's what always happens.
It is. It's the first 3 hours. It's hand-holding. It's tutorials. It's just, you know, the dialogue is good as it is. It tends to be too wordy sometimes. It takes too long to get to a point. And I was leery about it, but after the first boss fight, I was in. I was sold after that. Nice. The combat in it is really, really great. All the enemies have different ways of attacking, and you need to sort of pay attention whether you're going to be. I like the dynamic of being able to dodge. The story is Bowser is in an attempt to gain enough power to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. He is tricked by Fawful, who has, I guess, appeared in other Mario and Luigi games in the past, and into taking a bad mushroom, which causes him to sort of inhale a bunch of Mushroom Kingdom, including Mario, Peach, a bunch of the Toadstool Kingdom, and they're all stuck inside of his body now.
So it's inner space, Mario Edition.
Exactly. And so, I mean, one thing I do have to say about Fawful, he's one of my favorite villains. He speaks in English the entire time, and it's just beautifully pulled off. It's always consistently funny.
Nintendo's localization team is pretty much the best in the business.
They really do. I mean, it's one of the strongest things about the game is that, you know, as you progress through the game and you're meeting more and more characters, whether it's the Toadstools or the Bomb Guys, the Koopas, or the Paratroopers, all of them have these different sorts of dialogues, and they're all stereotypes of like frat boys, Canadians, French people, and so it's very, very funny meeting these new people, and I always look forward to meeting new characters. When you're playing as Mario and Luigi, you're inside Bowser, and where that changes things up is that, and those will be your small, typical Mario and Luigi platforming puzzle stages where you're exploring to find pieces and put little puzzles together. But then, you know, right after that, they let you jump back into Bowser, and that takes more of like the action-adventure role, kind of exploring up top. It's done from an isometric point of view. It's a different location than when you're inside Bowser, which really helps break up the pacing because you're never stuck doing one thing for too long. When you come across obstacles where Bowser needs to sort of perform these great like physical feats, it'll switch to these mini games inside of Bowser in order to make Bowser like super big so he can do a boss fight, or that he can lift a giant object or push something across a tunnel. And they do some really creative things during the battle sequences. Bowser gains this ability where he can suck in certain types of enemies, and when you're doing some of the fights, he'll suck in an enemy, and as the enemy goes inside him, it'll switch to inside Bowser. And you have to do a quick battle with Mario and Luigi fighting the enemy inside of Bowser. Once you do that, it comes back out to the fight on top, and they all have their different sets of moves and different special attacks, and so you never feel like you're stuck doing one thing the whole time.
When I was playing Superstar Saga or whatever the last Mario and Luigi I was playing, I just, you know, you get all the different special moves for Mario and different ones for Luigi. You know, you get a spin jump and all these other, a variety of different special moves that are all activated in the old games, like hitting L and R to swap between the different like moves. I just found myself stopping a lot, pressing L and R to get back, ordering my guys before I could move forward, and after a while it drove me nuts.
See, and that is still in this game, that exact same thing, and that's one of my complaints as well. I mean, as they gain abilities, it's a lot of moves that are mapped to a very small area.
Yeah.
And so you're totally right. The constant switching back and forth, it gets old.
It's just tedious.
Yeah, and I'd have a lot of times where after I would, you know, use the tornado spin move to like go across, and I would just want to do a regular jump, I would forget to hit the R trigger to reset it back.
Right.
And I end up falling down the ledge and having to repeat. That happened a lot when I was playing.
It's mostly I think that's it. Is that it's not just attacks or puzzles. It's you use it for platforming as well. And so
no, I completely agree with you. And I think the main way that this remedies it is, like I was saying, you're never stuck doing that for too long. It's been a nice surprise. I was kind of in the mood for an RPG anyways right now, so I'm sure that helped me, but it was a game that I didn't think I was really going to enjoy at all, that I was just going to throw a couple hours into, and here I am. It's the most I've been playing on the DS for a while.
I just kind of thought, Mario RPG is not my thing anymore, I'm over it.
Yep, I was the same way.
I gotta say, that sounds pretty cool, the mixing of the isometric and the Mario RPG style. I might have to give it a whirl.
Whoa, 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 who are you? You from the future. Me? Yes, you. What's the future like? Dude, it's awful because you didn't put our Halo ODST, so now we can't play it. Dude, it's just another Halo game. Dude, it's so much more than just Halo. You know, the Covenant have been terrorizing human civilization for 30 years, and now you get to play as an ODST on a recon mission to find out what happened in New Mombasa. Plus, there's a new co-op mode called Firefight that you can play with up to 3 friends, and there's a separate disc that has 3 brand new maps, as well as all the original Halo 3 multiplayer maps as well. That's 24 maps that I know you don't have. All right, dude, all right. Hey, so you traveled through time just to convince me to order a video game? Dude, it's really, really, really good, okay? Oh, it's Dave Coulier. Oh, right. That's who I was thinking of. Oh.
Halo 3 ODST is now available. Visit xbox.com/Halo for more information. I wish you had your PSP here, actually. I know you're a fan of MotorStorm Pacific Rift.
I am.
After that came out.
It's a very good game.
We played it a little late, but we had a blast with it. MotorStorm Arctic Edge was a game that I wasn't super looking forward to, mostly because I figured, what's the point? No motion control.
I know, dude. It's like, that's half the fun for me.
I know. One of my main concerns about Arctic Edge, aside from the fact that, you know, it doesn't have motion control, was that one part of the appeal of MotorStorm is the graphics.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, the presentation is just like so brilliant and beautiful in the PS3 games that I thought it would be missing something there.
Right.
And the other thing is that if it's all Arctic snow-based levels, then it's just going to be all white.
Yeah.
Right. luckily that doesn't turn out to be true. It has amazing, amazing graphics.
Wow.
The effects are just immaculate. In fact, if you watch the opening intro movie, which they obviously had to do early before the game was finalized, you can see what it used to look like, and that kind of explains a little bit of why I don't think I was that excited about it. But the final game, with all the polish and all the effects, if you're driving through snow, you'll see snow like coming up and hitting the screen. Everything it's just like the mud in the old games.
Sure.
It just looks wonderful. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful game, and it's not all white either. Like in MotorStorm Pacific Rift, there's a lot of variety in the stages, and so there's ones that kind of are covered in mud still. There's the Arctic ones. There's ones that have water in them. There's ones that have crazy fucking man-made shapes. It's like, it's really cool. You know, I had a great time playing through all the tracks. In fact, that was the thing that really drew me in. Once I got used to the controls, the fact that, you know, obviously I'm not gonna get motion control here, it was easy to pick up and play right at first. I mean,
Do you use D-pad or analog stick?
You can choose. I use D-pad. I will say the difficulty curve is a little different, and I thought at first it was due to the fact that I was playing with a D-pad rather than motion control. It seemed really easy. Like I was just trashing the game at the beginning.
That is not the MotorStorm I'm familiar with.
Exactly. MotorStorm's always been really, really hard.
Yeah.
At first I was like, I don't know, it's not quite as fun when it's not super hard.
Yeah.
I was literally getting first place on every track and leaving the other AI opponents in the dust. Like they weren't even finishing.
Wow, weird. So what about like the rubber banding thing? Because that was always something that kept you in the pack in MotorStorm, and you know.
That's still mostly there once you get later into the game. So once you've played, I think I'm in like rank 4 or 5. Around rank 3 is when it starts getting a little bit more difficult, and at that point the AI starts to keep up. It gets more intense, and yes, it starts to really feel like MotorStorm again. One thing they did really well in Pacific Rift continues in Arctic Edge, and maybe not so well in MotorStorm 1. In MotorStorm 1, I didn't really want to play as the bigger vehicles.
No, not at all.
I really just want to play the buggy.
Yep.
And in Arctic Edge, the big vehicles are a blast to drive. I mean, you really do feel like you're on a completely different perspective. Again, I play in first person, so you know, when I'm in a big rig,
you're
looking down at the other cars, and so it does feel totally different. They've added some new vehicles. There's a snowplow and a snowmobile.
And in an Arctic environment, do they actually give you any advantages, or are you just like...
I'll tell you what, I don't feel like they necessarily do. I mean, the snowplow goes feels like it's going way too fast. I mean, you look at it, it's got these treads, and it's just like plowing through, like keeping up with a big rig, and you know, it
Can you actually like
silly.
plow stuff out of the way?
It does seem like it's maybe a little bit better for pushing the small cars out of the way, but then again, so is a big rig. You run into a buggy with a big rig, and it's going to knock it off the track.
Is the snowmobile just like another motorcycle?
Yeah, and I really I almost don't like it. It's as much as the motorcycle or the ATV.
Wow.
Those are kind of always been my least favorite class of cars in MotorStorm,
me too.
because you can't actually drive from first person. The small ones, it pulls into like a close third person, but it doesn't feel the same. I think they're still fun to drive, but not as fun. I'd much rather be in a rally car or a buggy or one of the big rigs. Basically, it's like the full console, aside from motion control, it's like the full console experience of MotorStorm down on a portable platform.
It's pretty amazing.
I can't believe how, you know, just like Soul Calibur, I know Soul Calibur is not really your thing, but with Soul Calibur and MotorStorm, I really having a kind of PSP renaissance of my own in my bed at night. Like that last hour when I might have gone to bed before, because I'm lying in bed, now I've been pulling out my PSP again. So
snuggle with it a little. Exactly.
I think this is the beginning of what's going to be an amazing holiday season for PSP. I mean, there's still more really great games coming out, but this kind of first batch feels like almost all I need.
It's a nice taste,
I'm like really, really in love with my PSP at the moment.
Awesome.
In the dark though, it's like it hurts my eyes a little bit. It's a bit too bright.
It's a little straining a little.
Oh,
Okay.
too dark, dude. Split
Okay.
the
Yeah,
difference.
a little bit in the middle.
Halfway.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
What's going on?
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Oh, he is
That looks
changing the
fucking
color.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Squarespace, remember you can change the colors in real time.
Try
Yeah, we-
green. I like green.
Okay, we'll do
Green's
green.
my favorite color.
That's super cool. Do blue.
Oh, that's
All right, we can do
You
blue.
guys are changing the color. That's awesome.
Oh, blue's not bad.
Do you like
I think
real time?
orange would be really good.
Orange?
Orange?
Yeah.
Really?
No, orange bar logo.
Like a, how about like an olive
That's a
or a
little
mauve
bright,
or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, they move up to like a yellow.
Hold it.
Burnt
Go back.
sienna.
Go back.
Dude,
Go
this-
back.
yeah, it's like
No, go forward.
Go back to
Nice.
green.
Right there.
Yeah,
Go
What
back
if we
to
can make it
green.
do
Over.
this?
Oh,
Let's
like a brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the
like
lights.
that.
Look at the color.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely.
Oh, that's good. Squarespace. Squarespace. Squarespace to change your site in real time. Everybody TV looks kinda shitty to me until we put it on the Squarespace. Real time changing of your website. Squarespace does it in real time. If you want your website to look like a disco, hit this shit up, baby. You will see it in real time. Squarespace. Beautiful. Oh, that's awesome.
All right, that was good talk, guys. Not too bad.
I kind of like that color.
Oh, right there. Perfect.
Looks pretty good.
I like it.
All right. Let's do it.
Oh man, so you tried anything like a ninja versus zombie or anything like that?
No, not yet.
Dinosaur?
But yeah. Dinosaur? Man, I'm glad I got scribbled up. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh,
what's this?
man.
Oh, okay, we brought wood. That's good.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! Actual size?
Dude, that's scary, man.
Yeah, I'm
No,
kind of
no.
creeped out by ticks anyway. I had no idea they were as big as your damn neck.
Oh god.
Whoa.
Dude, we gotta tell the
Yeah,
guys.
we gotta tell the other guys.
They might be crawling
Yeah.
all over you. You
Yeah,
have no idea.
hey guys, I'm not sure I want to stay here. Hey.